Russian President Vladimir Putin will not consider any kind of ceasefire agreement as long as he firmly believes that the Western nations might ultimately give in or simply lacks the necessary resolve to adequately support Ukraine in its ongoing conflict. This was stated by retired Lieutenant General Ben Hodges, former commander of the U.S. Army in Europe, in an interview with Channel 24. According to Ben Hodges, a chance for a ceasefire will only appear when Russia realizes that it cannot win. And this is only possible if the US and European allies openly declare their readiness to provide Ukraine with all the necessary arsenal. From weaponry to economic support. The general emphasized that if Washington and London demonstrate maximum resolve and Europe increases sanctions pressure and transfers frozen Russian assets to Ukraine, the Kremlin will be forced to reconsider its calculations. Ben Hodges specifically emphasized the importance, in his opinion, of strikes on Russian oil and gas infrastructure. In his opinion, if Ukraine continues to deliberately weaken Russia's energy sector, it will be significantly more difficult for Russia to finance the war next year. Only when Putin realizes he is losing will he start thinking about a truce, the general concluded. At the same time, the U.S. Permanent Representative to NATO, Matthew Whitaker, stated in an interview with Fox News that the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, may abandon his peace initiatives aimed at resolving the war in Ukraine. The head of the White House may take such a step if he sees that an agreement between Kyiv and Moscow is impossible. According to him, Donald Trump may decide to pull back if it becomes clear that there is no agreement and there will not be one. At the same time, Whitaker emphasized that the American leader understands perfectly well how to use leverage on both Russia and Ukraine to reach a peace agreement. And what do you think? What kind of leverage are we talking about? Share your thoughts in the comments and we'll read them. In general, it's ongoing. The U.S. representative to NATO noted that Washington is seeking progress in resolving the war that Russia started against Ukraine. He added that the U.S. President's special representative Steve Witkoff and the American leader's son-in-law Jared Kushner are helping Kyiv and Moscow to develop a multi-stage and complex agreement. Whitaker also emphasized that the past weekend brought positive signals regarding the progress of the negotiation process. I think we are making significant progress. At the same time, this requires both sides. President Donald Trump understands how to put pressure on the Russians and Ukrainians to make them reach this agreement and continue moving forward. And I am optimistic. I am full of hope, the diplomat noted. In turn, political expert Maxim Razumny commented to Glavred that Russia is negotiating exclusively with the United States without involving Ukraine or European countries. This approach allows the Kremlin to maintain the image of an influential leader within the country and has a pragmatic basis. Until Russia reaches an agreement with the Americans, there is no point in involving Ukraine or Europe. Our position and the position of the Europeans are known and documented, and they are unlikely to help the US and Russia. On the contrary, reaching an agreement could actually become an obstacle to their negotiations, Razumny explained.